Hey everyone, welcome to Coaching Genius Live. So glad you can join us. So if you're new to our channel, do remember to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, because every week we come to you with fresh video contents. Now, in today, we're going to explore one facet which is going to be really critical, which is what we call meta programs. Now, in a conversation, many people have asked me, how do I create shifts in people? How do I create pivots in people? As speakers have come to me and said, hey, how do I change this? How do I change that? How do I help people to change their minds? Well, one of the things is this, to consider where they are from and where they want to be. Their present state and their desired state, where they're here and where they want to be. So too often, the reasons a client not able to move forward is because there are many filters that are blocking their minds and many filters that are actually preventing them from moving forward. So what we try to do in the coaching process is to unravel what are the filters that's really inhibiting them from moving forward. And one of the secrets today I'm going to teach you, it's one powerful skill. It's what we call towards and away. And we cover more of this in detail in our neurolinguistics programming class, what we call the transformative NLP coaching program, where we teach you how to utilize NLP skills, NLP patterns in your coaching conversations, and especially if you're an ICF certified coach, it will help you with your ACC, PCC, MCC certification as well. Now, have you heard of your friends telling you this? When they think about this, when they think about their goals or their visions or their outcomes or their passions, they're always saying this, well, this is happening again. I don't want this to happen to me again. I don't want that to happen to me again. Oh, I want to get this, I want to get that. So the language patterns of our clients matter a lot, because how the language pattern works will allow us to help the clients navigate out of them. Now, so let's use an example. Suppose a client comes to you and say they want to lose weight, and they come to you and say, hey, you know what, Jedi, I can't lose weight because I don't want to be fat anymore. I don't want to be overweight anymore. I don't want to not be able to fit in my clothes anymore. I don't want to be so round anymore. I don't want people to stare at me like that. Now, whenever they say that, whenever they use those kind of languaging, they are experiencing what we call away from meta program and away from. So they want to move away from there to somewhere else. They want to move away from this present state to the desired state. They want to move away from. Now, away from can be a good driver to get them out of the mud, but sometimes that may not be altogether helpful for them, because sometimes that may not be compelling enough for them to move forward. So we have the other approach, is what we call towards. So the towards approach is when the client says, hey, I want to go towards getting the body that I desire. I want to go towards the physique that I desire. I want to go towards that healthy body that I want. I want to go towards slimming down. I want to go towards losing that 5 pounds, that 10 pounds. I want to go towards getting that body that I always deserve. That's going towards. I don't want to be like that. I want that. I don't want to be like that. I want that. I want to get away from this. I want that. So towards and away, it's going to be a very important dichotomy as a coach to begin to listen for in the client's languaging. So which should we focus on? Now, the key is this. It doesn't matter whether the client is more away or more towards. We want to understand what will drive them towards taking action. For some people, away from will allow them to move forward. Towards may not have a strong enough pull to pull them forward in the future, but the away might have enough push to push them forward. So at the end of the day, what will be most efficacious for the client to move forward in the next step? And we're going to ask ourselves, what is the most ecological thing for the client to experience at the moment? So in the languaging pattern, when the client says, oh, I don't want this, I don't want this, I don't want this, I don't want this, now then that's when I begin to explore what we call the pivot shift. And that's when I explore, hey, now I hear you, Mr. Client. You don't want this, you don't want this, what, you don't want that, you don't want that. What do you want? What do you want? Now, that has pivoted the client from away to towards, right? Because they're saying they want this, want this, want this, want that. But what do you want, Mr. Client? What do you want for yourself? Right? So sometimes, as coaches as well, oftentimes the coaches come and tell me and say, hey, Jedi, I don't want to fail my exam. I don't want to fail my coaching recording. I don't want to fail this. I don't want to do that. I don't want people to think that I'm not a good enough coach. I don't want this. I don't want this. Then I reflect that to the client. So, Mr. Client, what I'm hearing you is that you don't want this, you don't want this, you don't want this, you don't want this. Okay, so what do you want instead? Well, what I don't want is this. Now notice the client just went back in the pattern of don't want. So many times this is our subconscious mind. We have been programmed like this as we are growing up through the school age, through society, through group norm, cultural norm, that we have developed this within ourselves. These are learned meta programs. We can reprogram them in our minds. Now, how do we do that? Well, first we need to identify what's the trigger. How do we shift that trigger? Sometimes by helping them to shift, by telling them, hey, I know what you don't want, but what do you want? that can be a help. That can help them create a seismic shift for them to move forward. Now, there's some people who are what we call futurists. They are living in the future all the time. Jedi, don't worry about the past, yeah, people may have hurt us, people may have done this to us, but don't worry, the future's bright, the future's great, the future's this, the pandemic doesn't matter, the future's wonderful. Oh, another virus? No worries, the future's great and wonderful. So they're always living in the future. A future person is never present good. Now, it's great to have a compelling future, but if you're always towards, but you're not even moving you're not in the present, changing something to move towards there, you're always looking to tomorrow, but you're never present good. Now, why is that so? Because sometimes when clients are overly futurist, they neglect the present. They are avoiding the present because they know the present requires a lot of work to move them to the future. So they're avoiding that. And sometimes in this process, we will reverse the process and say, hey, what do you not want to happen for you? I know you want this. I know you're seeing this. I know you're seeing that. But in this moment, what do you not want to see? What are you not liking in this moment that you want to change so they can help you move forward in there? So listening to the language of away and toward will allow you to listen, is the client focusing on the away from or towards? And then you can use the languaging pattern or the questioning pattern or the observation pattern to reflect back to the client and move them from different camps. Now, all we're doing here in the powerful questioning process is to allow the client to say, hey, maybe I want to expand my mind of thinking about this. I used to think like that. Maybe now I'm thinking like that. So all we're doing is actually to expand, to help the client expand new ways of thinking about the situations, about themselves. So when we're listening about away and towards, we're also listening to their beliefs as well. We're listening to what they seeing in beliefs and across the different contexts of the issues that they say. I give an example. Recently I had a client come to me and say, hey, Jedi, I have a speaking gig to do. I need to speak in front of 1,000 people, but I'm just afraid. What if they don't like me? What if I don't have rapport with them? And I'm a minority there. I don't have the height. I don't have that physique. I don't have the looks. I don't have the charisma. My articulation is really bad. Blah 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 blah. Okay. So I said that's great. So my question to him is very simple, right? You don't want to do this, then don't do it. Cancel the gig. Have you considered canceling the gig? Because since that's not what you want, what if you don't do it? Nah, Jedi, no. It's not that not that I don't want to do it, but actually, it's all these fears. Now notice this. So I reverse the reverse on them, right? I reverse the away on them. I said, yeah, I know you don't want this to happen for you, but so suppose if you don't go for it, what will happen? Suppose if you went for it, what will happen? Right? So sometimes, in the process of doing all this, we're trying to create a shift in the client's mind, because sometimes the client has created a thought pattern or a cycle of defeat that causes them to spiral down. And in the process of coaching, we are listening to the languaging that they're saying and help them spiral up. So try this out in your coaching conversation today. Listen, is your client using a towards or away from meta program, and how can you utilize them creatively to help the client pivot from the different angles that they're seeing? Okay, so leave a comment below. Share me what have you tried with your clients, or if you have questions about a certain context your clients has experienced, let me know, and I'll share with you some tips that can help you to really help your clients as well. Now, so if you like this, if you like what you shared, what you listened to today, right? Don't remember hit the thumbs up button as well as share with your friends, because we're going to share with you more videos as well to help you. We give you new tools, new ideas, new concepts to really help you and stretch you in your coaching conversational skills, as well as all the manifold tools and techniques they can use in the coaching conversations. Now remember, all these tools are to support you in your coaching process, and it requires you constant effort, constant practice to really get better at it. And in the words of a wise man that once says, I'm more afraid of a person with 1,000 different kicks than a person. I'm not afraid of a person with 1,000 kicks, but I'm more afraid of a person who has practiced one kick 1,000 different times. So I encourage you, to learn more of these things, watch more of the videos, and practice them. Put them into practice, try them out, see if it works for you. If it doesn't work, it's okay. Try a different one, right? So the heart and spirit of coach is a continuous learning, a continuous journey where we learn more, we explore more, and we go further. So every single video, I hope to be able to share with you a nugget of truth, to share with you something new, and when I read something new and when I come across something new as well, I would love to share with you guys. So if you'd like to hear more about coaching conversation, let us know what you'd like to hear more, right? I'm more than happy to hear from you as well. And do connect with us on Facebook, LinkedIn, and all the various social media platforms. And I also love to hear your stories and your coaching journey as well. So So until next time, this is Jedi here for Coaching Jesus Lives. See you really soon.